Hello everyone, my name is Moji. You're watching a Bitcoin bubble news channel. 53% of the countries we track are in macro summer, while only 25% are in spring. This number is going down as people move into summer. Those in the winter are very few -12.5 and those in the fall are also very few. This shows that spring has left its full mark on us. There are other ways to look at it. So summer in the US, here we come. This is when banana zone takes place. Also, this happens around this time every time an election comes up. That's kind of a summer thing that everyone does. Crypto is going crazy. A lot of time has been spent talking about the banana zone, the business cycle, global liquidity, and how these things affect the prices of crypto assets. Raoul is the founder and CEO of Real Vision. The former Goldman Sachs executive says that the global liquidity cycle, the US election cycle, and the Bitcoin market cycle are all strongly and almost perfectly linked. After the great financial crisis of 2008, Powell thinks that decisions made by central banks led to a plan similar to a debt jubilee, which let them set their huge debt costs back to zero. They sometimes get involved in the markets by making money to keep them from almost collapsing again. In Powell's everything code theory, this method is the first part. He says that as long as markets need support, central banks will keep printing money on a regular basis. Powell says that these rescue operations happen about every 3.5 to 5 years. Since 2008, they have caused the regular changes in the business and financial markets. When central banks print money, the value of paper currencies drops. This makes asset prices go up and creates what look like bull markets. When things get too hot, they stop making money and take out some of the money that is available to keep prices from going up too much and causing bear markets. The cycle then starts over. When foreign currencies like the dollar lose value, the prices of all assets go up. But some assets do much better than others, especially those with longer-term trends. Cryptocurrencies are a good example of this because they have done much better than other assets and central bank balance sheets over the years. Powell thinks that crypto assets are about to go through another time of huge outperformance. He thinks that the prices of crypto assets will go through the roof when central banks start debasing their currencies again to help their businesses. Powell calls the next few months the banana zone and says that prices for crypto assets will change quickly and wildly. He thinks that the market could go from just over $2 trillion to at least $1,122 trillion next year. So where are we in the market now? We are now in a dull area. This is what I tweeted. The dull spot is the time after harvesting. When crypto spring turns into crypto summer and things just jump around a bit. People who trade too much, which is most of you, get smashed around. You think, oh my God, this is the worst thing ever. The price of stocks has gone down and then back up. I don't want to go after this, I don't want to go after that. Oh my God, stop that right now. Try to explain again and again why the don't F this up theory is to not do that. It's only to get your big tokens. You have some stuff in the theoretical stuff. Do not trade. Stop trading right now. Then you can take a 3-week trip to Spain and not worry about what the market does. You'll still do well over time because of how quickly the technology is adopted. In other words, the boring zone ends at some point and the banana zone starts. That's the whole crypto summer and fall. For those of you who get lost because you don't pay attention and follow along, these are not the real seasons. This is the crypto season. That means every year is a different season. No, it's not September or October, which means it's almost fall. Don't listen. Fall is sometime in 2025. I'll also come in and show you how we figure this stuff out. A bit because I believe that is significant for you. ETF, so when ETH comes out, it gets placed right away. It was very clear that this would happen. That's how the grayscale sells. It's now time for these people who have been stuck in this trade for a long time to sell. They want to get out of it because they've closed the gap and found a lot of arbitrages. So this whole thing needs to be messed up for a week or two while we get rid of a lot of people and move them into other ETFs and let BlackRock and Fidelity's sales machines start spreading the word about ET. Don't forget that it's summer, so they're going to their favorite RIA and are probably all in the Hamptons or somewhere else. It's taking longer, but it will pick up speed. It's going to be very full. The other thing is, many of you look at the volumes in the ETFs and think, oh my God, they've done $18 trillion in volumes. Things have never been this big before. The reason is that they are being arbitraged. For now, that is what the advantage is based on. So arbitraging the futures contract is what's going on. That's why the biggest buyers of these ETFs are hedge funds and Millennium. We were like, wow, that's cool. They are guessing about crypto. They're not, though. They are arbitraging the futures contracts, which is what they are really doing. Because they can't hold spot, the ETF works like spot. Some people don't sell in the perps markets. Some other guys trade the perps against futures and the perps against spot. There are many of these players that keep prices the same. A really important part is played by arbitratists. That's a lot of stuff. In all the grayscale trusts, that was also most of the water. They had no power. As he talks about the banana zone, market cycles, and world liquidity. After that, let's check in on the broader season. That's it for the season talk. Spring, summer, winter, and fall are the same months in crypto. 53% of the countries we track are now in macro summer, 25% are in spring, and that number is going down as people move into summer. Those in the winter are very small, 12.5%. Then there aren't many in the fall. That's why it shows that spring has fully arrived. There are other ways to look at it. Let's go to the US. Summer. This is when the banana zone takes place. Also, this happens around this time every time an election comes up. The market isn't always going straight up or down, but you tend to do pretty well. The Nasdaq is up 13% so far this year. It's been fixed a bit. It went up by about 18%. It's likely to be up about 30% by the end of the year. That's something that always means summer. In late summer, crypto goes crazy. Summer is a really interesting sign because things are getting interesting at the euro area in the summer as well. Things are getting cooler in China, but it's still summer. We are aware that the growth is not fast enough. It's been getting close to being a recession, and the Chinese need to do something about it, which is why the boost is coming. We're already seeing support from China. Liquidity is the one that matters to everyone. The state of the economy determines cash. This is from 2 weeks ago. These things don't change often. We expect financial conditions to continue to get better as the dollar gets weaker and interest rates, bond prices, not Fed funds, go down a little. Think of this as a sideways pattern, a boring zone, or a gathering pattern. What we should see is the next step of better economic times. That means there should be cash after that. It does that almost all the time. All of our leads point to the fact that liquidity needs to rise. Remember that liquidity is all about paying off bills. The debt we need to pay off is about 10 trillion won over the next year. They will have to put money in to make it work. Rates will have to be lowered to bring down bond prices. Everything has to happen. This is a base for globalization. This doesn't include the money that China is sending around the world right now. Things are getting better. It also doesn't look at Japan's actions in the currency markets, which is also liquidity. I said that the ISM and the business cycle are what we need to light this on fire when we talked about Tesla. We can see that the ISM is still hovering around 50. There isn't much growth at the 50 level. Growth is around 1.5% to 2%, but FK it. The rate of change of growth goes up once it goes above 50 though, and that's when all the cyclicals are most likely to go up. This is already becoming clear. This is when Mag 7 led. It might be a little better. But you'll see that the other stocks, the volatile stocks, start to catch up, and there is less spread out among them. Everyone is scared that the market will crash because only a few stocks are going up. That's what it always does. All of those stocks will go up when the market gets better. All of these stocks are affected by the business. The market will buy up the rest of these stocks, and the gaps will get smaller. The business cycle says that the ASM will go up when new orders are subtracted from stocks. Our lead sign for the next 5 months points to higher.